Welcome to Ace My Exams Learning. Let us get started with today's learning.
Source B. Religion in the media. If you've felt that there's been increased discussion of religion in the British media in recent years, a 10-year study of various media shows that you're right. Coverage of popular religion, Christianity, Islam, atheism, secularism, and other religions has all gone up since the attacks on the US Twin Towers on the 9th of November. This is not restricted to news coverage, but is also evident in sports, entertainment, and advertising. The single largest growth has been in the coverage of Islam, and it is overwhelmingly negative. Islam is presented as a problem, but coverage of Christianity is also high. Why should this be, when over this same period church attendance and Orthodox Christian belief have declined? Religion is still reflected in the language of popular culture, and Christianity continues to be represented as part of national heritage and the British landscape. In a nation which is increasingly religiously illiterate, as a result of declining participation, the media are more important than ever for informing the public about religious matters. Question: why is there extra coverage of Islam? Refer to Source B. There is extra coverage of Islam in the media because of the following reasons. Firstly, Islam is portrayed and perceived, especially in Western societies, in a very unbalanced manner. It's often presented as a terrorist threat or as a problem. The media tends to focus on stories involving conflict, violence, or radical groups claiming to act in the name of Islam. This selective coverage reinforces fear and suspicion, leading to increased attention on the religion. A significant turning point that contributed to this pattern was the 9/11 attacks on the US Twin Towers, after which Islam was widely blamed. These events brought the religion into sharp global focus, prompting an ongoing surge in media interest, particularly around issues of security, extremism, and religious identity. Furthermore, the overwhelming amount of negative reporting on Islam continues to dominate headlines. Much of the coverage highlights extremism or cultural controversies rather than the everyday realities of Muslim communities. This creates a distorted image of Islam and increases the volume of stories that paint it in a troubling light. Another important factor is public curiosity. For many people, especially in Western countries, Islam is seen as a foreign or unfamiliar religion. This unfamiliarity often sparks questions and interest, which the media tries to address through increased coverage. Unfortunately, this coverage is not always balanced, and it often reinforces existing stereotypes rather than correcting them. Question: do you think the media can help a nation which is increasingly religiously illiterate? Give reasons for your answer. Refer to Source B. Yes. The media plays a powerful role in informing society, and it can be a vital tool in addressing religious illiteracy. One of the most important contributions the media makes is by providing accessible religious information to the public. Even though fewer people are actively engaged in religious practices, they can still learn about different belief systems through television programs, radio discussions, documentaries, and online content. For instance, media outlets often broadcast religious documentaries, cover festivals like Eid, Diwali, or Passover, and publish articles that explain faith-based traditions and principles. This keeps religious knowledge alive and accessible. Another crucial role the media plays is helping people understand the political and cultural dimensions of religion. In a world where religion intersects with global politics, identity, and social movements, media coverage can clarify complex religious issues and dynamics. Through interviews, analysis, and investigative journalism, audiences gain deeper insight into how religion shapes and is shaped by society. In addition, the media ensures the public stays up to date with real-time religious events. From major religious pilgrimages and the Pope's international visits to interfaith dialogues and community-based religious activities, the media captures and shares these moments with a wide audience. This means that even individuals far removed from formal religious communities can engage with and learn about significant religious happenings worldwide. However, some argue that the media might do more harm than good in educating the public about religion. One major concern is that media coverage is often biased and misrepresents religious traditions. Certain religions, like Islam, are frequently portrayed through a narrow lens that focuses on terrorism or conflict, rather than showcasing the full, peaceful, and diverse spectrum of the faith. This reinforces stereotypes rather than correcting them. Another problem is that the media often sensationalizes religious news. Dramatic headlines such as "Religious Leader Sparks Outrage" are designed to attract attention, but may distort the truth. These exaggerated portrayals can mislead viewers and increase fear or division instead of fostering understanding. Furthermore, the media tends to report from a liberal or secular perspective, which may clash with conservative religious values. This can lead to the alienation of traditional believers who feel their views are mocked or misunderstood. For example, faith-based positions on marriage, gender roles, or sexuality are often criticized in ways that portray religious conservatism as backward or intolerant. Lastly, the media tends to focus on the negative aspects of religion, such as scandals, extremism, or conflict, while ignoring positive stories. Acts of charity, community service, and interfaith cooperation rarely make headlines, resulting in an unbalanced picture that fosters prejudice rather than empathy or understanding. Question: what can religious organizations do to prevent negative media coverage? Religious organizations can influence their public image and reduce the likelihood of being misrepresented in the media using the following methods. 1. Promote accountability through protocol. Religious organizations can significantly reduce negative media coverage by ensuring that all members adhere to established protocols. Clear behavioral guidelines, particularly for public events or protests, help prevent actions that could be taken out of context or portrayed negatively. When members act with integrity and restraint, the risk of misrepresentation diminishes. For instance, if religious leaders outline expectations for respectful and lawful conduct, it becomes far less likely that the media will capture or distort disruptive behavior. 2. Designate a credible spokesperson. Having a trained and articulate spokesperson is crucial for maintaining a consistent and accurate public image. A designated media representative allows the organization to communicate with one clear, authoritative voice, especially during times of controversy or misunderstanding. Whether issuing a press release or conducting an interview, a spokesperson ensures that the beliefs, values, and intentions of the organization are conveyed faithfully, helping to dispel confusion and prevent speculation. 3. Encourage discipline and responsibility. A disciplined, responsible membership is another key factor in managing media perception. When individuals within the organization act with maturity, avoiding hate speech, illegal activity, or other forms of misconduct, they limit opportunities for negative media attention. Positive examples, such as youth groups participating in community service or volunteer work, portray the organization in a favorable light and challenge harmful stereotypes. 4. Use media to highlight positive impact. Proactively engaging with the media is a powerful way to build a strong, positive narrative. Religious organizations can share stories of charity initiatives, community outreach, and interfaith collaboration through traditional and social media channels. By publishing photos, videos, and testimonials from feeding schemes or disaster relief projects, they offer the public a genuine view of their constructive role in society, which counterbalances any negativity they may face. 5. Respond swiftly to misreporting. When negative or false reports emerge, timely and transparent responses are essential. Religious leaders should use media platforms to correct inaccuracies through press conferences, official statements, or opinion articles. For example, if a group is wrongly associated with violence, immediate clarification of their peaceful principles can help contain the damage and restore public trust. Question: during the COVID-19 pandemic, the media played a major role in religion. Elaborate on this statement. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the media became a vital tool for religious organizations to continue their activities despite restrictions on gatherings. Firstly, many religious services and conferences moved online, using social media platforms and virtual meeting tools to reach their followers. This allowed religious leaders to preach, conduct ceremonies, and host important faith events without needing a physical venue. For example, many churches streamed their Sunday services on Facebook Live, while global religious conferences were held through Zoom or YouTube, enabling participation from members around the world from the safety of their homes. In addition to services, religious leaders used media platforms to offer emotional and spiritual support, especially to bereaved families who lost loved ones during the pandemic. Through phone calls, WhatsApp messages, and video calls, clergy members provided counseling and comfort to those who were grieving, ensuring that no one felt abandoned during a difficult time. For example, pastors arranged video prayer sessions with families to pray for their departed relatives when funerals were restricted. Furthermore, religious organizations held virtual meetings to maintain community interaction. These included Bible study groups, prayer meetings, and youth gatherings, all conducted online to foster a sense of togetherness even when people were physically apart. For example, youth groups used Google Meet to continue their weekly discussions, while prayer circles met via WhatsApp group calls to pray together. However, a negative outcome was observed when restrictions were lifted. Attendance at physical religious gatherings remained low. Many people had grown used to worshipping privately or virtually, and others were still afraid of being in crowds, leading to reduced participation in communal worship. For instance, some churches reported that even after reopening, only half of their usual congregants returned to in-person services. Religious schools also adapted by moving their classes online, using educational platforms to continue religious education for students during school closures. This helped ensure that children's religious learning continued despite disruptions in formal schooling. For example, Islamic schools delivered Quran lessons over Zoom, while Catholic schools uploaded recorded lessons on YouTube for students to watch at home. Moreover, religious leaders used the media to support public health efforts by reinforcing government COVID-19 protocols. They encouraged their followers to follow health guidelines such as wearing masks, practicing social distancing, and sanitizing hands, and these messages were widely reported in the media. For example, television news highlighted church leaders reminding congregants to comply with safety measures during televised sermons. Lastly, the media provided a platform for religious leaders to promote vaccination against COVID-19. By sharing information and leading by example, they aimed to increase vaccine acceptance among their communities. For instance, some priests and imams publicly shared photos of themselves getting vaccinated to encourage hesitant members to follow suit. Despite the widespread use of media, one of the major challenges was that many people could not afford access to social media or lacked the necessary devices and internet connection. This digital divide meant that poorer or rural communities were excluded from online religious activities, leaving them without access to the spiritual support that others received. For instance, families in low-income areas could not join virtual services because they did not own smartphones or have enough data to stream videos.
To access more learning and exam preparation materials, go to www.acemyexams.coza. This link is also in the video description below. Thank you for watching this video. Remember to subscribe and be the first to know when we upload new videos.